Saints have their peculiarities, but they're better than that psychopath Kilbane and his brood.
Thank you.
Who would have thought, eh? You and me fighting side by side.
Certainly not me.
But it's good. Your brawn and my brains, your sass and my good looks. We're like a buddy cop show.
The one where the pissed-off ex-gang member gets a dog for a partner, so she straps it to the roof of the cop car and drives down the freeway at 131 miles per hour?
That's not a real show.
No. You need to learn to take a threat a bit better, Matt. So, welcome back to Saints Row 4. Right, so we can finally do these missions again. Hey Shaundi, how's it going?
Hey boss, I could really use some help getting Zinyak back for sticking me in that personal fucking hell of a mine prison. I'll tell you what to do, you go piss in Zinyak's plans. Got it?
Fair enough.
Alright, so, Shaundi, she's mad. I guess in fairness, if she wants to do some damage to Zinyak, I could call her up as a homie, but... I don't usually do that. Especially since we don't have her as a super homie yet.
Having my stuff blown up certainly gets under my skin, so let's do that to Zinyak.
Okay, so let's get voice actor stuff out of the way early, because it's easy enough. Just like in Saints Row the 3rd, Shaundi is voiced by Danielle Nicoletz. So yeah, nice that she actually gets to return for this one. Didn't stay consistent between 2 and 3. But we get this one at least. So, right, yeah. It is kind of nice to just be back on the regular course, and ooh, this one.
This is my town.
Sorry, I just saw what mission we were doing, I'm like, I distinctly remember this one now. I'm just gonna say it ahead of time, it's because I'm not actually that good at this mission. So I think overall my problem is I need to do just ground stomps, but, look, future knowledge, and I'm bringing some future knowledge in here, even when I do ground stomps, it doesn't really help. This one's actually pretty difficult. This mission may in fact be the reason that I'm not actually going to go for all golds. TBH. Like, that particular thing's not gonna happen for quite a few episodes. And since it's not successful, it's not been on screen, but yeah, this one's actually really tricky. Like, I can complete it normal style easily enough, but yeah, that's bronzes, but I might not actually have the know-how to do this one well enough. There's a better path with more fences, don't know what happened there, that would probably be a better starting point, but yeah, I just can't get a good enough route on this one. So yeah, this might be, oh, don't do this. Sorry, again, I try not to bring too much future knowledge into these, but I do have to remind you that I'm very far ahead in my recording versus, or footage recording versus commentary recording, so like, I'm just looking at this and going, ooh, like, I'm at the point where I've basically done everything except story stuff. Like, I'm basically done with kind of all the mess around missions like this. The do various activities missions for Saints, bundles of missions, I guess you'd call them. So, like, I am at the point where if I'm gonna consider going for all gold, I probably should, but there's just a couple of missions here and there that are definitely really tricky, and this is one of them. It doesn't seem like it should be that hard. I definitely feel like this must be a decent area for getting points, because there's a bunch of fences, and you know how fences work for mayhem missions. They do. A lot. But yeah, I think I'm just a bit too slow, which is one of the reasons you definitely want to do ground combos. I'm also very bad at keeping combos up with the guns, which is what I assume you're supposed to do these properly. Like, I think you're just supposed to hit, like, people or something to, you know, get small amount of points to keep the combo meter up. you know, just like, as though this were a Devil May Cry, right? But it's hard to hit people with guns effectively after you've stomped an entire area out. At least managed to get silver, but yeah, I'd need 200,000 more. And I've got mere seconds left. This one's just hard. Oh. So yeah, it's this mission, and actually one of the DLC missions as well.
This is awesome.
Not the DLC we
Seriously.
just did, of course. Doesn't really have missions like that. No, I am, of course, talking about the other DLC.
Oh, didn't mean to destroy that.
Yeah, that, Like, I might be able to clear this if I could just keep up a combo well enough, but... yeah, the moment I get somewhere without a fence, I'm kinda screwed.
Yeah, mayhem, baby!
I do like mayhem as well, but... I gotta admit, I'm very thwarted. Quite thwarted indeed. I might have wanted to charge forward when the combo meter was lower, so that I can actually hit those fences. You know, get something a bit more clustered together, but yeah, no, that's one of the reasons I don't know if I can consider doing all these gold. It might be a little out of my skill range. Which is too bad because I am getting pretty close. I have gotten a lot of golds. But this one in particular is the first one I tried to get a gold on and immediately got stumped. It was the first time I wanted to double back, rather.
Those races overload stuff in the simulation, right? That sounds perfect.
I do like the idea that Shaundi is just watching all these real mad. She's just got her arms folded and she's just tapping her foot like, come on, complete the race. Do it, do it. Anyway though, while we're between missions, right, this is an episode about Shaundi. Though of course, there's actually gonna be, well, 3 episodes about Shaundi, because in addition to the loyalty mission, Fun Shaundi does also get her own mission set, so like, we're gonna be at the Shaundis for a while. It is nice to be back to the proper format after kind of really going in unusual directions in my clearing. Like, now I've started Asha's stuff, but I haven't done her loyalty mission. And everybody else, I haven't done their loyalty missions or their regular missions, so... really went out of my way for that sword there, huh? It's a cool sword, though. I will apologize for it, but I don't regret it. I don't regret this, but I both rue and lament it. It's probably one of my favorite Futurama quotes, that's just a good one. And it's so applicable to so many situations in life. I can think of so many situations where I could use it. Anyway though, yeah, so, Shaundi. Right, yeah, talking about Shaundi. Not the format of the LP. So yeah, I definitely think Shaundi's probably my favorite recurring Saints Row character. I definitely feel like... probably mostly because of this game, she does actually have some of the most depth of any of the characters that we see over and over. Are we just skipping that computer? Alright. Sure, whatever. There we go. Got it in 3. But yeah, like, not to say I don't like the other characters. Pierce is great, Johnny Gat, also great, but definitely the least complex of all the characters, but you know, kinda needs that. You kinda need that in the gang. Though I guess in fairness, even if he himself is kinda one note, he did have, an interesting arc over the first 2 games. Between kind of being the way he was, and then being I don't think he ever married Aisha, but they were definitely in a domestic situation of some sorts. They were living together. I just don't think there was a ring involved, because, you know, he was in jail for years. But yeah, even though he can be a little one-note, even he's a little bit complex, but yeah, I think Saints Row 4 does a pretty good job of kind of justifying the change of character between 2 and 3. And really giving a lot of emotional stakes to it that 3 itself didn't quite nail down, I don't think. Also, ow. I didn't mind her too much in 3, but yeah, no, I think the added context of kind of the emotional weight of what she went through in the 3rd game really does kind of help her a lot. And of course, as always, we still have her loyalty mission to do yet, so it's not like we're done seeing her character, so I can't get into everything, but, you know, I do feel like, of all the characters, she's definitely the one that I think... like, how would I word this? Like, I don't think she resonates with me the most exactly, but like...
Nobody saw me hit him.
Yeah, compared to the other characters, it definitely just feels like she kind of has a pretty solid arc, even though it's a little in the background at times. It is thanks to this game that I can really understand, like, what happened with her in 3 fully. Also, dang, 5 whole seconds despite all of my flaws. Look, having the max speed just really helps. They have to assume that you don't have all of the upgrades in these. I think I've discussed this before, but like... difficulty is tuned for not having anything, because it would be unfair to say, this is a requirement to master everything. But it does mean that races are pretty easy once you've upgraded your speed.
There's a group of Zen to kill. Would love to do this. But you doing it will be quick.
Okay, so she values speed more than doing it personally, you know? That's actually fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people undervalue in revenge stories, you know? I mean, look, I'm not gonna factor in the whole, oh, you killing people makes you as bad as them, because we're the Saints. We don't care about killing innocent people. The boss has run over so many people, so obviously she's not gonna be receptive to that.
Yeah!
I mean, the billboards and all the posters and signs and whatnot are already trying to do that, and we don't care. Like, there are signs everywhere that are just like, this is your fault, you did this. Everybody's dead because of you. But, do we believe that? No. But yeah, no, sometimes you do need to acknowledge that, you don't necessarily need to kill the person yourself, they just need to, you know, be gone from the world so they don't do the damage again. Although, these are simulated sins, so... I don't know if we're really permanently killing anybody. Are they also strapped in? Is that it? Like, can he not just make data to attack us? Does it also have to... Do they just have to strap in their own people to have, proper guards in here?
I always win my arguments.
I guess in fairness, we have seen the, wardens outside of the simulation? It was at the beginning. We did encounter Zinyak, and he did, like, physically grab us and throw us back into Steelport. But at the same time, like... I feel like that was just a situation where it was Zinyak in the simulation. Because we hadn't escaped our pod at that time, so...
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it probably was just simulated Zinyak. Also, that is not Shaundi's audio log over there, but I don't mind learning about Kinsey either, even if it's not her episode.
Okay, I'm going to say this again. Why did we work with Matt Miller? Did everyone forget what he did to me back before I joined the Saints? I mean, come on! He set me up to be fired from the FBI and got all my ideas completely discredited just because they think I'm into kink? The truth of that aside, he ruined my life and now he's a good guy? This just isn't fair!
Okay, so Kinsey definitely falls on the... You need to work harder to redeem yourself as a villain. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going after these. Yeah, now we're just at the point where, since we're going to some new areas, we are running into so many new clusters. Which, once again, it's fair enough, I should be going after these, because going after them now means I don't have to go after them later. It's also why the earlier videos were like an hour long. And why this one is also almost an hour long. Look, you've gotta stop and get the clusters. Eventually we'll have them all and we can just kind of do whatever in the simulation, but until then, gotta keep an eye out. Training, if I remember correctly, should be Superpower Fight Club, right? Alright, who are we up against today? Oh, Junichi.
Welcome back to Superpower Fight Club!
I mean, I guess he did harm Gat, so... Shaundi probably did care about that to a certain extent. We didn't get a reaction, but, you know... I'm sure she also didn't like Aisha dying. They never saw each other on screen, sure, but... she can be sad about people she didn't know that much. At the very least, she'll definitely be glad to see us killing him. Because, you know, she's kind of in a mood. But yeah, I feel like stuff like this setup to this bunch of missions does sometimes make Shaundi feel a little one-note. You know, she is kind of just chronically angry now. That was kind of her thing in Saints Row the Third. She was angry, so the boss didn't have to be, I guess.
King of the Hill!
Oh, we're selling propane and propane accessories? Okay. Oop. Hey, come on! I need to light you up. So yeah, this is easy enough, but it is also very funny to just watch people zoom in. Ow.
Wave 2!
Okay, that counted for some reason. I guess it was more about me staying than them.
Wave 3! Fight! Well, hello there!
But yeah, I feel like... Shaundi was definitely, the character with actual, sensible, emotional stakes between her and the boss in 3. Pierce was slightly more chill, but in fairness, he was never the biggest fan of Gat. And also, like he said, somebody had to maintain some amount of normalcy. It wouldn't do anybody any good if they just worked themselves to death, so... You know, he was gonna be the party guy to kind of bring balance. Though in fairness, I feel like the boss is kind of the middle point between those two characters at the start, right? Like, you just got your two main saints there. One was angry, one was trying to hold it together. And then there's the boss, who was weirdly enough in the middle, and not a vengeful force of nature. Okay, look, I know this is the Shaundi episode, and not the boss episode, but I still feel like, other than, obviously, the first game, 3 definitely probably had the weakest boss writing. I feel like they managed to find a good sweet spot in this game, where it's like, she's less aggro than she was in 2 still. There's a bit more bite to her, and I feel like her emotional reactions make more sense than they did in 3. Again, we've yet to see a lot of that, but... I think at the very least we have seen just how desperate she is to get Johnny Gat back. Where she just gets even the slightest hint that he might be in there. It's like, nope, it's definitely Johnny. It's gotta be Johnny. We're going in, we're saving him. Oh, and speaking of Johnny, it's a shame he's too dead to see this. I'm sure he would have loved that.
Another successful round of Super Power Fight Club!
And now I ragdoll my opponents. No respect whatsoever. Alright, so that's Fight Club complete. There aren't too many of these, but oh wow, I was only, over gold by 3 seconds, dang. There aren't too many of these, but I do believe we have some left. At least one. I mean, if I actually looked over a map, I could tell immediately, but, something tells me I did not do that. And if I did do that, I've got a few words for past me. What was she doing? Why was she just bringing up the map to look at symbols? Cut that out.
Zinyak has an old program he likes running around the city. I say you kill him.
Okay, so we've got another assassination. How are we doing so far? Is it another one of those largely old-ish style mission setups? Maybe? Well, either way, assassinations have been around forever, and, well, we're still doing them, and excuse me, not the guy I was trying to dropkick. There we go. But of course, he does have plenty of HP. He's got superpowers, so it's gonna be a little more difficult. But his aren't as good as mine, so I'm far more of an issue. Oh, come on. I probably should shoot him, but I wanted to just be a jerk. I wanted to be a little gremlin about this. Also, thank you for putting me out of harm's way. Zen Trojan. That is your real name. Whoop. Oh, we're done anyway.
So far, this is going great. I want to hear all about it first.
Like, what? Recounting the story? Were you not watching this entire time? I thought that was kind of the point. Wait, don't tell me there's no video feed. Are you telling me that all this time you've been missing this? No, that can't be the case. Alright, so, what's Shaundi got for us?
God, I love knowing we must be causing Zinyak's blood to boil. No reason to stop now. Head back in and I'll give you more to do.
Ah, she's really enjoying this.
Murderbot minigun. So yeah, usually missions are kind of themed around one or two things. So let's see if we get that minigun equipped, or if I don't do that in this episode. The minigun's not really something I use super often anyway, so... Don't remember if I put that one off for a while, but I guess we'll see. First and more importantly is the power upgrades. Oh, that's gonna be helpful. Now I can ominously walk towards more people and set them on fire, cool. Or explode them, either way. Alright, so under pressure. What are you, a Queen fan or something? Or maybe she's only a Bowie fan. And this is just the rare exception. Either way, though. Back to the simulation.
If Sid's rifts are good at disrupting the Zen systems, then I'm fine with you helping Sid keep one open.
Alright, time for another rift. Okay, now I need to see the menu to see if I equipped it. Of course, it's not going to be useful now, because we're going to be in a rift soon, but I'd like to know. Okay, so this one's a jump. Oh no, this is telekinesis. Alright, you know the drill. I really don't have anything to say for these, and this is just gonna be sloppy, and I'm not gonna do well, so... I'm gonna speed this up. I'll give you a timestamp if you want to skip it, but... Yeah, I don't wanna deal with it. Wait, what? What do you mean I got gold? Also, could we just end after it gets gold? I don't want to do this anymore. But also I got gold? What? Alright.
Maximum power to the rift has been achieved.
I did it? I don't know how that happened either, if I'm being entirely honest. I mean, I shouldn't complain. I'm just confused is all. Alright, well, you earned that victory dance this time. Alright, just gonna... Also, that said TK Rift silver medal, so... Hey, guess what? We're already done with those. There were just the 2? Yeah, that was just 2, wasn't it?
Time to kill Zen. I'll just sit here and dream about how great that would feel.
I mean, if you really want me to, I can bring you in. Either way though, yeah, so... I guess maybe if I just went back to the first TK Rift with the speed I apparently displayed in this TK Rift, I could probably get a gold on that one. Again, I don't know what I did correctly. I don't know why I did well there, but not in the first one, but... Again, shouldn't complain, just keep moving forward. I aced a thing even though I didn't think I would. That's always a thing to be happy about. Sometimes you don't have to understand why you did a thing, just that you did.
Here's another of Zinniac's personal programs you can kill. Hope it was his favorite.
I mean... I don't know if anything in here would be Zinniac's favorite anything. He seems like a guy who really prefers the sum of the simulation and what it means. But he probably doesn't care that much about the individual parts, like the statue. He probably doesn't care about that. I mean, he had 36 of them. It's only 12 more now, but, you know, he's got plenty. I mean, that's still 12 more statues than I have of myself. So really, who's he to complain? But yeah, he's a man who prefers the classics, so I don't think there's anything in Steelport for him. Although, in fairness, it has been stated that Mind Over Murder is his favorite game show. So maybe he's not as hoity-toity as he likes us to think he is, Anyway, though, right, so this was, car, right? We're doing car this time. Oh no, it's another assassination. I'd say Shaundi really likes it when we do murder, but in fairness, we've done plenty of non-murder things. I'm sorry, are you about to use Pandora's box? I cannot allow that. You get out of here. No. I will not have anybody hit me with that. Hey, when enemies use Pandora's box in the 7 remake, do you think they're gonna have a callback to that?
There's some data stored in a vehicle. Kinsey says it's important Zin stuff. That means we should steal it.
I know that's neither here nor there, but like, now that I've thought about it, I am very curious. Are they gonna give Pandora's box an actual animation? Have they already given somebody Pandora's box? That is definitely not a thing I'm going to be checking while things are going on here. Yep, yes sirree, I'm just taking in the sights of Saints Row 4 that I'm currently looking at right now, because I'm not looking to see if it's come up. Definitely not. Okay, doesn't look like it's been in the remake yet. They didn't add it to some sort of early enemy and one of the middle bits. You don't know, they could have. They could have put a thing earlier than it's supposed to be as like a super box. Anyway, yeah, we're stealing this motorcycle, and I guess we're just kidnapping this man now. I gave you an opportunity to remove yourself from the motorcycle, so if you didn't, well, I guess you're just gonna be disassembled when I get this motorcycle to its destination. And you're probably just fine with that because you're not leaving the motorcycle. And, oh, no, please, no. Ah, darn it. Well, now it looks bad. It looks like I don't have any follow-through. Ugh. I wanted him to get disassembled, and, you know, I thought he'd made peace with that, because, you know, he didn't get off the motorcycle. And look, I'm just saying, I know jumping off a moving motorcycle is difficult. I wouldn't be able to do that easily, but if somebody were driving me along after kidnapping me and saying, hey, when we get to our destination, you will cease to be, I'm going to destroy this motorcycle and you will probably be destroyed along with it, I'd take my chances at that point. Like, what more do you have to lose? You're not going to exist in a few seconds if you stay on the motorcycle. Break your head on asphalt instead. It's maybe a little better. And we got a Cyber Estrada. If I like driving that much, I'd probably find that useful.
Good job, boss. But there's still more to do. See you on the ship.
Oh, we have to interrupt bombs over Baghdad? Boo. Right, so that went way faster than the first one. Probably because there weren't as many pickups.
This is great and all, but we need to speed up this whole pissing off and then killing Zinyak thing. I only got one more set of stuff for you to do, and the sooner it's done, maybe we can go after that bastard.
Okay, calm down, I'm going.
She didn't seem that excited. Okay, so we've got cyberspace cart and bikes. So I guess Shaundi doesn't really have a theme to her rewards either. I mean, we only got 2 out of 3, but yeah, we went from minigun armor, whatever that was, to vehicles. But this, I guess in fairness, it might just be me making a pattern out of 1 point again. Cause I mean, Asha had the cool sword and all of her rewards had to do with the cool sword. But yeah, like, Matt's rewards were a little scattered, Sid's were a little scattered. Keith David's technically were, but, you know, you could also argue that his reward theme is just a lot of the stuff you're really gonna want for the game. So I don't know, I think it counts. Alright, back in we go. So let's see, we've got another 20 minutes, so still a decent chunk of gameplay. I might also consider this slightly shorter because I did skip a lot of the Rift.
The Zin really hate those rifts. I admit, Sid does a good job with those.
I mean, sometimes I also hate the rifts. So, what are we doing with this one? I guess we're checking for stuff. Or either that or I'm just getting a good head start up here. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just making sure I'm able to get over easily enough. Okay, and before we go to that rift, we do need to pick up a lot of things, including some Kinsey dialogue.
First, I told the FBI. Then I told the Saints. Then I told the President and the entire Secret Service, and still they wouldn't listen. Now here we are, abducted by aliens and trapped in technology far beyond what we had on Earth. You know, if I'd only got the budget for my planetary defense system, we wouldn't be stuck up here dealing with the Zin. I mean, it would only have cost $3.1 billion. Hey, I tried to warn the military, but they didn't want to listen to the press secretary.
I mean, they probably wanted to keep that $3.1 billion plus that they had. I mean, if it's anything like real-life military spending, it was probably stupidly high, so like... They didn't want that taken away so he could do a space thing that might actually be useful. No, we need to afford jets that suck, actually. That's the #1 priority of America. And before you ask, no, this is not a Zinyak statue that needs to be destroyed for 100%. It's too big for that. Alright, so that's just about everything on this island taken care of. Other than this. Oh, we've got a jump one. Right, so if I'm remembering correctly, this one's actually pretty tricky. This one might also be a mission that I don't gold. Because this one dares you to either do way too much before reaching one of the points that gives you extra time, or leave behind potential pads that you could jump on. Do you really want to do that? Can you live with that? I mean, you might have to. In fairness, these do waste a lot of time. And it might just be better to get to the end as soon as possible. I mean, really the most important thing overall is, of course, accuracy, but I will tell you, you do need speed as well. This isn't like the TK rifts, which apparently you can do without too much issue. I, again, don't know how I did that. I just did. But yeah, those don't have time limits, so like, really you're just being judged by how efficiently you can work. Can you work enough to keep your combo? If so, then you're probably fine. Also, this is definitely one that I did twice. Again, you can't necessarily fail it exactly. But if I remember correctly, the first run was just very slow. I at least managed to tackle some of these a little faster this time around. Whereas I was a bit slow the first time. And again, even still, I don't think I get gold. I definitely don't think I get to the end. That is kind of a rarity with these. Honestly, these are also kind of tricky as well. It's definitely one where you need better judgment than you're necessarily going to have on your first run. Cause yeah, you need to know what's worthwhile to get and what you should just skip for the sake of speed. In fairness, these are all giving 2,000 if you do them correctly, so... Big and small are the same, provided you are accurate, but... At the same time, you do want to get 2 points like this sooner rather than later.
It is not too easy for you, is it?
And yeah, there is the segment speed bonus, but I feel like that was a decent bonus, right? Probably could have gotten higher if I had done that faster. So yeah, maybe the other method is just go through all that you can as soon as possible for the speed bonuses, and then, you know, instead of going to the end necessarily, you just double back once you've hit all the main checkpoints. Yeah, like I would think 45 seconds would be enough for this, because I'm pretty close to gold. Oh, that somehow counted. There's clearly a lot of lenience here. But yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking, watching this back, definitely handled the first bit of this stage faster than I did the first time for certain, but I might have wanted to just kind of skip ahead here. Because that circle took forever. Oh, wait. Okay, I did make gold, I just didn't make it to the end. I was on pins and needles there, ugh. Might have also been able to make it to the end as well.
It is not easy to impress me.
I probably would have had to run up the thing, and I definitely would have missed a bunch of the circles, but if it mattered that much, I could have done it, but it doesn't. Like, you still get gold even if you don't get all the way to the end, so it's fine. Okay, I don't know what is happening with those fires, but you guys do not look like you're enjoying them. You're coming apart at the seams.
Guess this vehicle I see on Kinsey's list is more data the Zin want. Well, too bad it'll be ours when you steal it.
Too bad Zinniak's statue's a pain to climb. Ugh. Joe Steele's statue wouldn't be so annoying to climb if I could actually know. No, I can't even keep up that lie. That was also a statue with a lot of bits that could get stuck in, so I'm sure I would have also gotten stuck there. Plus, he didn't even have a cape. Which, you know, definitely a bit of an issue when you have to go up against a statue that does have a cape. Like, you're just down a lot of style points from the get-go. Overall, I think your kind of working class hero sort of style is definitely gonna win you a few points, but a lack of cape, simply won't do. Really, we went wrong when we said that working class heroes shouldn't wear capes, right? Real heroes don't wear capes. No, you fool! Capes are cool, actually. You get style points for wearing them. Now the stupid idiots who do wear capes are gonna trample all over us because they're more stylish than we are, because we gave up the humble cape.
I should have known dating that asshole was gonna end badly. Veteran child. What kind of name is that anyway? Sure, he had hookups for some of the best drugs in Stillwater, but that's no excuse. And he comes and tries to kill me? Whatever.
What a
He
jerk.
didn't have a chance against the boss. I tried to warn him, but he never listened to me. Only the boss really did.
Wrong Shaundi for the occasion, but alright. But yeah, I guess capes aren't really that humble, but nonetheless, my point still stands. I think The Incredibles, as a film, did irreparable harm to our sense of fashion. The capes were already going downhill, and then that just made it worse. Alright, so what are we stealing this time? Another motorcycle? Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you get off. No? Okay. Are you sure? Okay,
It wasn't much of a fight.
yeah, see, you were in a much worse position because you didn't leave immediately. You could have avoided having to get off a motorcycle going pretty high speeds and then getting shot if you had just done it in the first place. But then again, it was either that or get disassembled, so probably just had a bit of choice paralysis there. Two bad choices. Which one is worse? Oh right, disassembly. Again, these would be pretty cool vehicle designs if I wanted to drive around, but I don't particularly want to.
Those large towers have a lot of data clusters on them which are useful to you, right? So go climb that thing.
I guess I also don't know. If I did want to drive around Steelport, would I go back to Saints Row the Third for that? Or would I just try to pretend the superpowers aren't here and just start driving around? I don't know, actually. I've never done either. I guess I'm just not much of a driver in games. Not that I mind it, and I certainly like racing games, but in open world games, I do kind of prefer going on foot. Which I guess is part of why I like this game so much. I really like the world traversal in this game. Which is probably why this is one of the only open world games that I will relatively actively play. You know, I pop into this game every now and then to just kinda explore for a bit. It's kinda just a nice relaxing game to be in. And therefore, I don't need any other AAA open-world games, because usually, they're not as fun to run around in. And just kind of worse overall.
Yeah!
I'm now remembering the fact that, Cyberpunk is supposed to be better at this point. You know, supposedly it's better, and, did kind of abandon that for Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I haven't missed it that much. Oh no. I mean, I was enjoying it fine, but it's one of those situations where I just look at that and go, yeah, this is my allotment of open world game for a while. At least in terms of like more traditional open world stuff, like a GTA or something similar. Because technically, Xenoblade X is also open world, and I'm enjoying that more than Cyberpunk, but regardless. I also would not call that a standard open world game. Though again, very good traversal. Though, you know what I also have to say about that? I guess that is an open world game where I do like the vehicle. Like, running around normally is actually pretty fun. Definitely the best movement in a Xenoblade game, if I'm being honest. It's very fast, very fluid, but also probably lets you, climb some environments in ways that they wouldn't want the other games being climbed. Because they're a little less open, but... yeah, I do also like having a big robot. I guess that's the other thing. Open world with third person, definitely my preference. But also, mechs that move like mechs, or like Japanese mechs rather, probably my preference. I mean, this game also has the power armor, which is similar to a mech, and I like the power armor segments, but I wouldn't particularly want to explore the world with it. I'm fine with the mayhem missions that use the power armor. That's enough power armor time for me. I do prefer kind of the more Gundam-esque style of mech over the chunkier mech warrior style.
Yeah, top of the world!
I just like my mechs being, you know, fast extensions of the human body. Not slow, armored versions, even though that's, you know, supposedly the quote-unquote more realistic, even though...
Zinyak tries to kill us, we kill his people. Seems fair to me.
Even though, you know, somebody who's going to be truly pedantic will point out that pretty much any mech is going to be kind of unfeasible as a weapon. Like, why would you make a tank with extra steps? But, you know, to that person you say, shut up, they're cool.
How you like me now, Zinyak?
Oh, do I finally go after that one? I think I am. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I will admit, I'm kind of tired of that thing just hanging out in the air. Look at that smug jerk. How and dare you? Think you're better than me? Just floating up there in the sky? You're nothing, Clusters, nothing! I don't know why I've decided to go so aggro on this one. Anyway, clear Zen troops. We might have a mission after this one. But I might also just spend a lot of time in menus as well. Or a lot of time traveling. Clearing out Zen troops is never anything that takes long. I think, there is definitely an argument to be had for how the similar, like, gang hideouts worked in 2, or 3 rather. No, there were hideouts that were also mini missions. That was also pretty cool. But I was more thinking about rolling up to a gang operation in 3. And, like, those were actually pretty tough. I mean, these guys only had the advantage of the fact that they hadn't spawned in when I did my whole thing, so they avoided that attack, which, frankly, is unfair. You'll be hearing from my lawyer, Zinyak. You cost me some amount of fun of seeing your med explode, how dare you. But yeah, I guess this is gonna be our finale for the episode. Why do I not have guns? Yeah, so that goes quick enough, but Wardens will take a minute, so... And now I definitely realize why this is the end of that. Also, yeah, they have barriers, but there are so many ways to take out barriers at this point that it's really not an issue. Pick whatever ability you like, and if it's not charged up, pick a different one. But, like, you have what you need to take on the Wardens.
I thought you'd win that, huh?
They definitely get some stat ups at this point in the game, because if they didn't, they'd die a lot sooner. And also they have one more tiny little trick that we'll see probably in a few episodes, I'd imagine, because we are getting pretty close to the end of the game.
Awesome to hear that's all done. Come on back and I may have something for you.
There's definitely a fair few story missions, but, like, we have started to see kind of the, overarching goal of missions, like the, get silver or gold for this type of mission set. Like, we've seen a few of those by this point, so, like, there are certain types of activities that we're just done with. There is more to do, of course, and it might seem like a lot, but it won't be a lot for very long. Especially now that we're past the DLC. I think the rest of this is gonna be a pretty quick ride.
If I was an asshole alien overlord who had a bunch of his people killed and technology destroyed, I'd certainly be upset about it. So go us! Now we can focus on killing that bastard.
And that date with Keith, I'm guessing.
Alright, and we got a Murderbot Mine Thrower. Again, don't know if we're gonna see that one, but we've got it. So yeah, that would be Shaundi sated for the time being. Next time we will help fund Shaundi. But of course, I wanted to help this one first, because this is the present Shaundi. And even though her other version does have a nickname like Fun Shaundi, I just wanted to show her that we care about her the most. The other is just the yearbook version, who we like seeing again, but ultimately, we appreciate Shaundi and the development she's had over the years. So anyway, let's have sex with her.
Been a hell of a ride, hasn't it?
That is an understatement.
You've changed so much.
We both have.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, whatever happened with that guy on your dating show?
Puerto Rican Thunder God? He was sweet and all, but performance didn't live up to the name.
Look, I gotta tell you something. It always drove me crazy that you had exes in every city and were willing to go on a dating show, but not once did you ever give me a shot.
You never asked for one.
I'm asking now.
Then let's make up for lost time.